to 100 subscribers. Hello everybody, my name is Robert and this is of course Review Clue. And yeah, as that intro notes, thank you so much everyone who has subscribed to this channel so far, watched my content and enjoyed it enough to subscribe anyway. There are now 100 of you who are subscribed to watch me talk a load of rubbish for 20 to 30 minutes at a time. So either I have a deaf audience or you're genuinely enjoying this content, and I hope it's the latter. Anyway, 100 is quite a big number. When it comes to something like YouTube subscribers, 100 is a lot. But I'll tell you where 100 isn't a lot. £100 is not a lot to spend on a smartphone these days. So for 100 subscribers, I've come up with a little bit of a challenge. I went onto Amazon to try and find just how much phone I can get for under £100. So I went searching and I found this, the Blackview A80 Pro. This promises to be a quad camera setup for the low price of £96. So 100 is a big number, but just how much phone can you get for £100? Let's find out. And here we have it, the Blackview A80 Pro. This thing retails for about £112 on Amazon, but I got it for £96. The box itself is pretty nondescript. It's just a white box with the Blackview logo on the front. On the back you do have some basic information about the phone. For instance, this has a 6.49 inch 720p display at a 16:9 aspect ratio. This thing's a big phone. I'm not used to carrying something this big around, so this could be quite interesting. It has 64 gigabytes of storage, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and an octa-core 2.39 gigahertz processor by MediaTek called the Helio. But I think one of the biggest things about this phone is its quad camera setup, with a main 13 megapixel camera, one 2 megapixel camera and two 0.3 megapixel cameras. I'm not sure what those last two 0.3 megapixel cameras are doing. I suspect they are probably there for some kind of blurring effect on the more portrait style shots. So before we go into any more about the spec, let's open it up and take a look inside. So as I pull the lid off, we're going to notice two pieces of paper. First being a VIP card, and the second just being a normal card asking how they did. So which I'm sure I will be telling them in this video. You also get the phone, which comes in a couple of different colours. They've named them after gemstones. I bought the jade green here. They also have the ruby red, the sapphire blue, and just the normal black. The green I thought was the nicest colour. So we're just going to drop that off to the side, pop the phone off next to it, and have a look at what else we get in the box. So we have this sort of pamphlet. In here we have, of course, the SD card remover, or the SIM card ejector tool, an instruction manual, and quite rare in these kinds of packages is a screen protector. So we're going to drop that off to the side. I don't think we'll need it for the moment. We also have a charging brick. Let me just have a quick look at what this is. It's a fairly standard charger. It's not particularly fast, but something faster than you would get with the iPhone at the moment. So you've got that one there. Also, you have some headphones which are very Apple-esque. They look exactly like the earpods that you get with the Apple iPhones. Drop that off to the side. And of course, we do also get, if I can get it out, a USB-C cable. Now that's really nice to see. It's very rare that phones will do USB-C these days, especially at this price point. So this also does come with a case by the looks of it. This has a case already adjoined to it. But I'm going to go ahead and peel off that screen protector and take a look at the phone. So along the top, we have that teardrop effect for the selfie camera. Along one side, we have the power button. Along the back, you can see that quad camera array and the lovely little flash there. You do have a fingerprint reader, which I personally really like having on the back here, because it's just about where your hand would sit on the phone naturally. Nothing along this side, which must mean that we've got our volume rocker just above the power button, which is fairly standard, but I think I'd have preferred it on the other side. So here we go, we'll turn on the device. We can see that it says black view there, and it is of course powered by Android. This thing is running Android 9. I haven't used Android in a while, especially not something as new as 9. And we've got 10 coming up around the corner, and I don't know whether Blackview has mentioned they're going to be bringing this thing to Android 10 or not. I suspect they probably would. So there we go, we're already in. We'll have a quick talk about the networking for this phone. It does a lot. So it does GSM, LTE, and it also has all 2G, 3G and 4G bands. This phone can be used pretty much anywhere in the world and you won't have a problem, which is very impressive. It also has GPRS and Edge if you're really stuck for internet speeds, I suppose. So this thing was released in November of last year, and it's got a fairly small body actually. So it's 155 by 74.8 and 8 millimeters thick. Or thin in this case. This is a very thin phone. It feels fairly light in the hand at about 165 grams. The build is premium plastic, so it is just an all plastic phone. It's not going to be the best quality phone you've ever held in your hand, but for the price point you would not expect that. It is a dual SIM as well, so that's nice. If you're taking this abroad to another country, you can use two kinds of SIM cards there. It's obviously an IPS panel, so you're not going to get beautiful colours, but what we'll do is we'll go through the setup process, and I'll come back to you once this phone is set up and we'll have a proper look. Do you know what? While it's checking for updates, I thought I might as well bring this up as well. It actually has very little bezels, on the left and right side in particular. The top there is a slight bezel, and you obviously have that teardrop notch, which I'm fine with. I mean, every display basically comes with this teardrop now. Along the bottom you have a slightly fatter sort of chin on this phone. Not terrible. Oh, and I've just gone ahead and accidentally stopped it from doing an update. So we're going to leave this to update. It's going to go ahead and do that now. So, of course, this thing does also allow for an SD card storage. So, theoretically, you could go up to 128 gigabytes on this thing. It is, unfortunately, missing that headphone jack. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, that's taken me by surprise, actually. There is actually a headphone jack on this, a 3.5mm jack. They've managed on a £96 phone to do something that many phone manufacturers within sort of thousands of pounds can't do, in that making it about 8mm thin with a headphone jack. That's incredible. I'm going to finish off setting up and take a sit down from the shock there of me finding out that this thing actually has a headphone jack, and I'll be right back with you. So it has just dawned on me that I was acting surprised it had a headphone jack, but of course it came with earplugs that had a 3.5mm jack, so I would have hoped that it would have had a headphone port on it. But moving swiftly on, this thing is loading up at the moment. I wanted to bring in this phone here. This is the Huawei P9. It's a 3-4-year-old phone now. Not particularly old, really. But there's just a little bit of a size comparison for you as to just how big this thing is. Like, this screen alone is the size of the P9. In terms of thickness, you're looking at about the same, to be honest. I'd argue that they're pretty much the same. And you can see where it got most of its design cues from. You've got that fingerprint reader in the same place. It's a very Huawei-esque design, which I personally don't mind. we'll let this finish up and we'll have a look around the Android OS and maybe do some tests as well with the camera in particular, because I've heard online that maybe some of the cameras are fake. We'll test it out and we'll see what happens. So there's no backups found for my phone, which is fine. Setting the time and the date, let's go ahead and do that now. So it is Thursday the 18th of Jan at about 9:22. Yes, you are correct. So it's obviously got all of the Google services built in. There we go. It's obviously got all of the Google services built in, so you can use this like any other Android phone. And that's, I suppose, this is a plus over Huawei phones as well at the moment, with their not being able to have any kind of Google integration. So this might take some time. We'll hopefully come back to it when it's ready. This setup process has taken a long time. Okay, so here we go. It's asking me to set up that fingerprint. So I'm going to set up a fingerprint and a pin and a pattern. I haven't done a pattern in a long time. Let's go that. Nobody steal my phone, please, because you now know my pattern. Touch the sensor. And again. And again. We do this a couple of times. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my glamorous assistant to come along in a minute and test this out on her finger afterwards, just to see whether this is a fake fingerprint sensor or whether it is actually a working, functional fingerprint sensor, which I suspect it will be. But I know Wish.com and other such sites, their phones say that they have a fingerprint reader, but it doesn't. So we're going to go ahead and no thanks, adding the finishing touches to the phone. And we're on the home screen now. So let's go ahead. This is me unlocking the phone. It's not fast, but it certainly does it. Glamorous assistant. So my glamorous assistant is going to come along and try it with her finger and see just what we can get on here. So the fingerprint sensor is just on the back here. Just rest any of your fingers on that. Let's come around. Okay, and again. That appears to only recognise my fingerprint. So there you go. That is conclusive evidence that isn't an official fingerprint reader. It's certainly not fast. But for, again, under £100, I am pretty impressed that this came with one at all. So we've got the pretty standard Google home screen. If we pull down from the top, we see the notifications panel. If I can focus there. Pretty standard notification drawer. And everything about this is the standard Google experience. It's almost stock. I don't know how I would get to all of my more apps. Or does it not do that? Is it all on one screen? Potentially may all be on one screen. Let's see what bloatware is on this. So we've got an app here called Blackview. So this is the Blackview app. What does this do? My country is actually not on there, is it? No. So I'm going to have to go with global. I mean, it's not really what it looks to be. It's a place to buy other Blackview devices. That was very loud. Yep, so that looks like a place to buy other Blackview devices. There you have the Notes app here, which is pretty standard. The camera, of course. We have a voice recorder. What's this? Emergency alert history. That's very specific. Of course, this is probably a phone that is built for a more international audience, where the alert systems are used much more. I don't think I've ever had the alerts used here. So YouTube Music is downloaded by default. We also have the normal YouTube app. So yeah, let's go ahead into the YouTube app and find my favourite YouTuber of all time, who is, of course, Review Clue. let's go to my channel and watch one of my other fantastic videos, which I feel you should all do as well. After this, why not go and find other videos of mine to have a watch of? Let's take this coffee machine one here. Oh. Okay. Do you know what? We won't watch YouTube on here. It's giving me a playback error. This may just be that the app needs updating. So I'll go through all of the updates and then we'll come back to this phone once I've done all the updates and made sure that I'm actually using it correctly. But for now, it looks like YouTube doesn't work. Yep, so there you go. I've just gone into the Play Store and literally every app on here needs an update, which is probably why the YouTube app didn't work. But walking around and just using this phone on the home screen, it seems fast and responsive. When going into something like the Play Store, it's less so. So you can certainly tell that this is not a quick phone, and it was not built to be a quick phone. But it does look like I have all of the apps on here that I could ever want to play, he says as the Play Store crashes. We'll open it back up again. Let's try and install Call of Duty Mobile, which is quite a taxing game, actually. So we'll try and download that. Maybe in a bit. However, everything is showing up in dollars at the moment, so that's a thing. Do I have to change my location? Let's go into the settings app here. And we can see it's very flat to very colourful. I'm going to go ahead and add in location. There's location services here. That is location services rather than my actual location. I'm not too sure. So this also has Bluetooth, it has Wi-Fi, 2.4 and 5 gigahertz networks. It is lacking NFC, so there is no Google Pay support on here, but it's Google Pay. It's fairly standard across most things, so if you can't use it on your phone, then it's not a big deal. But moving around, it seems fairly quick. But when you're in an app like the Play Store, it does seem a little bit slower. Obviously, we've got multitasking here. Let's go ahead and open up the camera, if I can find it. It's here. This is a very iOS-style camera viewer. So we, of course, have video mode. With my flash there, so let's turn on the flashlight. That is a bright flash, actually. Surprisingly bright. Let's just turn it off again. Go into our settings. I can see that I can add location, which I will do, so we can geotag our photos. I don't really need the shutter clicker sound. Microphone, of course. Video quality, we have a few options. We have VGA, HD and full HD. We're of course going to go full HD, which is an odd choice because the display doesn't actually support full HD video playback. But we also have Photo, Pro, Mono, Beauty, and what looks to be a blur mode, basically. Yeah, it's a very fake blur, but it's a blur all the same. Let's find something to take a picture of. Let's find something to take a picture of. Take a picture of it, and then I will come back and show you the quality of this camera. Okay, so I've just taken 2 photos there. So I've just taken 2 photos there of the Honor Band 5. This is also a part of my 100 subscriber special today. So I'm giving away this Honor Band 5 to one of you lucky people out there. All you need to do is subscribe, like and comment down below just what you would do with this device. So of course it does have a watermark, unfortunately, which I'm sure we can probably take out in the settings menu. It notes it's a quad camera. The quality though is, I would argue, fairly good. I mean, it is certainly not as good as something you would find on the more expensive iPhones and such of today, but it's very, very good. I'm going to go try and take a selfie, come back and we'll see what that selfie looks like. So here is the first image that I got from the selfie camera. It's not bad, it's overly sharp, but that's probably its post-processing. Now, of course, we all know I don't need beauty mode, but it does have it, which seems to just smooth the whole image an incredible amount, and I don't really like the effect, though I've never really liked the effect of the selfie camera. So I don't know whether you heard the ping there. There was a very loud ping. It would appear that the audio is not very good on this at all. So you've only got one speaker here, which is this one. But let's go ahead, find YouTube and give YouTube another try. Maybe this time it will want to play ball. Yep, here we go.
This is Review Clue. Today we've got this, the DeLonghi Cam top here, 23460S.
That is, I think we can call that audio an acquired taste. My left ear was getting quite lonely there. I'm used to dual having sound at both sides, but right now I'm only getting it from the bottom, of course, because there's only one speaker on here. So that's okay, I suppose. In terms of video quality though, the panel on it is actually very good, and we're getting some pretty good colours out of it as well. We're going to go ahead and just turn it all the way down. Maybe it's just too loud. No, it still sounds particularly bad. So, here we go. Has it downloaded Call of Duty yet? It would appear not. Yep, it's installing as we speak, actually. Waiting for download. So let's come back tomorrow after everything's downloaded, everything's set up. We'll play some games, listen to some music, and overall push this phone to its absolute limit so we can find out just how much phone you get for £100. Alongside 100 subscribers and doing this £100 phone, I also wanted to do something for you guys, because without you guys, I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be making these videos. So I want to give back to you. That's why I bought this, the Honor Band 5. I've been using it for a little while and I'm about to do a review on it. I suspect that will be up next week. But I want to give one of these away to one of you guys. If you want to win one, all you've got to do is like, comment, subscribe, and in your comment, just tell me, what do you love about the Honor Band 5? What makes you want this thing? Anyway guys, my name has been Robert, this has been Review Clue, and that was the Blackview A80 Pro. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to win this thing and for any future content that I do, and trust me, there is a lot coming up. Here's to another 100, another 1,000, and so many more. My name's been Robert, this has been Review Clue, and I will catch you in the next one. Adios.